Happy New Year, everybody, or as I say, Merry New Year. Because I always like to, a little bit of caveat here, I always like to say, try to say Happy Christmas. I have some friends that are English and they always correct me. They're Brits and they say they were taught to say Happy Christmas. Christmas is a happy time. It's a time where happy news was shared with all mankind. So they always try to say Happy Christmas. And they say Merry New Year because they make merry on the New Year. So I hope wherever you're at, you're making merry. My merry tonight will be some sugar-free Canadian Dry fruit splash cherry ginger ale. Anyway, just me. Not a big fan of New Year's. We don't do much with it anymore. I'll probably get done here and then go spend some time with my wife, watching some shows. She's watching the Great British Bake Off Holiday Bake Off. So anyway. I just finished putting together the Eadsy Astronomy Astronomical Events calendar for 2026 for amateur astronomers and astronomy fans. Anyway, you can see I have it here. It's all posted. I'm going to put a link at the top here to the Google Doc in case you want to get it as a Google Doc. Probably save it. I'll probably make it as a PDF, and then you can just download the PDF and have a copy of it if the PDF comes out okay. If not, I'll link it to the Google Doc. You'll be able to see it as a viewer. Simply go into File, make a copy. You can make your own copy. You can modify, do what you want with it. Anyway, I'll just quickly kind of go through. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. You can read it. You can go through it. I begin with just kind of like I do with my newsletters, weekly newsletters. I go through the solar events, Earth-Sun orbital events. Just so you know, the Earth will be at perihelion, closest to the Sun, on January 3rd. So just in a couple days. Anyway, I put the spring and on the solstices, the equinoxes in there. I talked about a solar eclipse that's going to happen. There's going to be an annular eclipse, Ring of Fire, on February 17th, and then a total solar eclipse August 12th of this year. I show you where the path of totality is going to be and where you can find that. I also, just so you know, have put, I'll put a link. I thought I did, yes, I did. There's a link in here to where you can get to these and actually get to the site, and you can actually zoom down on the map for yourself of where these are happening. So anyway, that's it on that one. Lunar events, got a lunar eclipses coming up March 3rd, total lunar eclipse. You can see I put the dates and times there where it's visible. And again, there's a link to the zoom in on your location. So I've done it for the lunar. I'll go back and do it for the solar too. Not a problem, easy to do. You can see we have a partial lunar eclipse in August. You can see where it's located, and you can go to the link there, zoom in, and find your area and see what you're going to be able to see based upon where you live. I list the major meteor showers here, and this is an important note I'm going to make in the video. Please note, I have it in caps here and bolded. You can find all these charts over here at this Google Sheets at this link. Again, it's shared to where you can view it. You can always go in, make a copy, and have your own copy if that's what you want to do. I don't share that link out as a open link. I don't want people to mess with it. But if you want to make your own copy and make adjustments or corrections, nobody's perfect, and so I never claim to be. So anyway, if you need to make adjustments or anything, you can do that. Jupiter's at opposition. I put other notable solar system events in here. Let's make that a little bigger. Moon phases are here. Let's make that nice and big. You can see I list the full moons here and the date that they occur and the times. I put the new moons in here because for somebody, whether you're imaging or visual observer, knowing when new moon is important, because you can go several days before, up to a week sometimes, and you can go up to about a week after new moon to really get some of those dark skies if you go out to dark sites. Some other interesting events I put in here is lunar occulations of bright stars for 2026. You can see that. I do objects in conjunction that are happening in the solar system here. Probably should put that in here. Objects in the solar system at conjunction. Okay, And we'll make that nice and big, bold, and underline. Not. Just leave it like that. Okay, there we go, underlined. Okay, you can see potentially visible and observable comets in 2026. There's some that comets you never know about. You just don't know what's going to happen with them. So anyway, some fun things that I did is, if you're a beginner, I put together some charts with just some objects by month that you may want to go in and just take a look at. I get asked that quite a bit by people who are new in the hobby. I was doing a presentation on sketching at Salt Lake Astronomical Society about a month ago in November. Well, that's 2 months almost now, a month and a half. And one of the questions by some of the students was, I'm going down to Bryce, what do I look at? Well, here's a quick table that you can use if you have a telescope. I tell you whether it's when the new moon is. Most of these you're going to some of them you can see binoculars, some of them you can't. I give you some additional observing tips on those. You can use binoculars, like I said, open clusters, bright galaxies, M31, you might see the core. Some globulars you can probably make out. Some deep sky objects that are a calendar for beginners. And I list them by month and time here, and what type of instrument to use, and what they are, and when the new moon is there. So you can see that. For the intermediate observer, I put some more challenging objects in here, or fun objects that are just as bright, just fun to see, that you can put on a list and go out and try to take a look at, observe, or image for that matter. These are really good imaging lists too. Challenge objects for deep sky objects. Here's a challenge object or great imaging. If you're doing imaging on this, you can see they're listed here. You can look them up online. You can go to Sky Safari, you can go to Solarium, find them, figure out your star hop, and figure out you're going to go there, unless you have GoTo and it just takes you there. I also share Jupiter moon transit and shadow transits here. So most of the major ones are listed here. So you can see that. Make sure you go to Solarium or Sky Safari to see the actual times in transit. Venus I put down so you can see the Venus phase and visibility calendar for this year. Right here you can see how much of the disk you're going to see based upon the time of the year and what it's going to look like here. Just some phase summaries here and some more stuff about Venus there. And then I kind of end with two things. The solar cycle, whoops, I don't know why I put 26 there. We're in 25. I always like to make corrections when I find them. We know that this started late 2019, early 2020, following solar cycle 24. We know that it peaked around 24-25 October to early of 25. Cycle was moderate to strong. And I put some graphs in here from NOAA. You can see the first graph here shows you the current cycle. You can see the number of sunspots here, the number of radial flux progression here, and you can see where it's projected to go. So you can kind of see in 26 to 27, we're still going to have some relatively good activity. You can see that, and there'll be spikes and stuff all through here, just like there is on this side. And that means we'll probably get some aurora opportunities. Solar observing will still be really good. Solar imaging is still really good. Make sure you have the right protection. Don't ever look at the sun with your naked eye through a telescope, binoculars, or anything like that. You will damage your eye, if not cause blindness. Just don't do it. This one shows you, this chart I thought was interesting. That's why I included it. Here's our current cycle. You can see how it can kind of compare to past cycles. Looks like for the most part it's kind of comparing very closely to 1970. 1970 had more of a gradual. This has more of a peak. So I'll call this the Mount St. Helens, and we'll call that one maybe Mount Shasta or something like that. You can pick your own mountain for that. Here you can see the flux over the last cycle to this cycle, and just take a look at that, and you can see the general outlook for 26, declining activity, but still periods where we're going to see some really good opportunities for some flares, probably maybe some CMEs and things like that. Equinoxes, March, September, always the best time for auroras. Solar flares, CMEs, expect a mix of C-class flares, chance of some M, and probably we'll still get a few X-class flares this year. Geomagnetic storms, expect minor to moderate G1, G2 storms, especially earlier in the year. I'd say January to March, just estimating that. You can go, and I've put links here. You can go to right here. You can copy that over to your browser and actually see 27-day outlook and space weather prediction and see what's going on there. Kind of end with that. That's what it is. I hope you find that useful. I'm also going to just put a one-page just summarization calendar up there. I'll include here too. Have a happy new year. Actually, have a merry new year. I hope you make it merry, and however you make it merry. And I hope the new year brings you everything you're looking for and then some. And anyway, have a great night. Talk to you later. And thanks for gathering around the telescope. My wife is wanting me to throw that in there. So anyway, here we go.